Welcome back to the Podcrastinators. Today we saw a movie that we have been super excited about as longtime fans of the Evil Dead series.
Yes.
Cam and I saw Evil Dead Rise, which, spoilers ahead, as always, I thought it was pretty cool.
I also liked it.
Mm-hmm. It took a little bit for me to get into it, but I walking away, I enjoyed it, definitely.
Yeah, I agree. I think it was in line with the other Evil Dead films. It did its own little twist on it. Here's what I was thinking about the whole time was it's like slapstick horror kind of. Like you get like the Looney Tunes slapstick, but like they go into pretty gruesome detail on the gags.
Like it's like haha funny, and then someone gets their like eye ripped out and you're just like, Christ.
Yeah. No, I think it would be cool to just like put people in different situations and have them find the Necronomicon. Mm-hmm. I think that's a cool, like an interesting way that they could go with this. Did they
specifically say the book was called the Necronomicon in the movie? I don't remember.
I don't think they actually used the words Necronomicon in this movie. They said the Book of the Dead, and then there was some other name for it that they had. Mm-hmm. But I don't remember what it was. But
I love just the Evil Dead world is so cool.
It is very cool.
The Necronomicon's fucking awesome.
Our longtime fans will know that we are Evil Dead fans. Mm-hmm. We reviewed Army of Darkness. So
if you didn't know, Evil Dead, the original trilogy was done, original trilogy, but the first and second movie are kind of the same. And I know that sounds weird, but he did the original trilogy of Evil Dead.
Sam Raimi.
Yes.
The director of the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies.
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And they're really fantastic. They star Bruce Campbell. And in the same vein of this one, very gruesome. Although this one I think is a bit more gruesome. Just because, we got more stuff we can do with movies. Not to say that the original isn't fucking insanely good. But
I still think Evil Dead 2 is the best one.
Oh, hands down. Well,
like we were saying, Sam Raimi made the original trilogy, and the interesting thing about those, like we said, Evil Dead 1 and 2 are very similar, and it was because I don't think he had the rights for Evil Dead 1, but he still wanted to make a continuation of
That's right, Evil Dead. Did it under a different studio.
He did it with a completely different thing and called it Evil Dead 2, even though it had no affiliation in the background with the first one at all. So they kind of had to remake it and then do something a bit different with the ending. It's kind of like the definitive version. I don't even think the first Evil Dead, if you're looking for a canon watch order, the Evil Dead, the first one is
our recommendation: watch Evil Dead 2 and then watch Army of Darkness.
And if you're interested, you can go back and watch the first one, but it's super low budget.
Or if you know you're gonna go through them, I guess you could start with the first one.
But you're gonna be retreading ground that the second one honestly does do better.
When I first watched it, I watched it in order, and I thought the second. So I mean, I guess if you're like us, fucking just watching shit because you want to, do it in that order.
And now that you know what you're getting into as well.
Do you think it's better in the case of trilogies or sequels or whatever, if the second one is a good one to start with and the first one's is it better to tell people to start with the second one? Because we did this with Halo 2. You played Halo for the first time.
Oh.
And playing Halo 1, you're like, I don't really get it. But maybe going back, you'd get it a bit more because you saw where the series developed, I guess. I don't know.
Well, I think Evil Dead is a special case because the trilogy is not super coherent. Mm-hmm. Story. I feel like in something like Halo, you need the groundwork that the first one lays.
Yeah.
At least if you're trying to get into that side of it. At least that's how it is for me. The story has to be compelling enough with something like Halo, the gameplay, it obviously also has to be there. Jesus. It obviously also has to be there, but I think the story is one of the most important things for me, at least.
That's fair. No, that's very fair. So starting off the movie, we get a classic shot of the evil force, they do a fake out But like from the original one where they have like the camera zooming through the forest with the music playing and getting louder, which is like supposed to be like the evil forest. So it was a drone in this movie to fit or at least that one was. I think.
Yeah, it happens a couple times.
Yeah.
But then I liked when the girl was like, "You could have taken my head off with that," and the guy's like, "Oh, we'll just chew your face up a bit." And then, you know what? Yeah, we get to see it later.
Yeah. I do like how every time in the movie they showed us something, you're like, oh yeah, that's going to be used graphically.
That's going to be bad eventually.
Yep.
Honestly, the soldering iron is what I saw that didn't get used. But, I mean, she did use it to later on, but as part of, like, hooking up the stereo system.
Yeah. There could have been more There was more graphic stuff around.
But when the mom was, like, tattooing, like, fixing up the tattoo gun at the beginning, I'm like, oh, God, what are they going to do with the tattoo gun?
You know, I will say, I was surprised. I didn't think they'd go as hard killing the kids in this movie.
I know. We'll add that one to the list of movies with child deaths.
It's
this
incredible.
This movie had way better child deaths than Mathregan. Come on, Mathregan.
For whatever fucking reason, every movie we've seen, even ones that we haven't covered on the podcast, because we watched Funny Games. Yeah, recently, and like for the last like 8 movies, it's incredible. But this one had the best child deaths.
Yeah.
This one to kick it off.
The most fun child.
Yeah, the most fun child.
Oh
deaths.
God, is that going to be the title of this episode?
Really fun child deaths. Okay, but anyways, getting back to the beginning, it's the classic Evil Dead like environment. They're in a like lake cabin area. One of the girls is infected with the evil, and I like the scene where like her friend is reading the book next to her, and then the evil woman starts reading what she's reading. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was a good touch. I was like, okay, like I like that the power of the Deadites are not super defined. Deadites are the people that get possessed by the Necronomicon. And fun fact, did you know that? Oh, I guess I'll save this for when they find the Necronomicon in the story.
Okay. And then the girl rips off her scalp like really fast. It was cool. Mm-hmm. I thought, well, all right, so at the beginning it's very obvious that these characters are like, oh, we're going to kill off these characters to introduce it. But I was kind of worried because I was like, fuck, this is going to set the like tone for the whole movie.
Oh, that's like, okay, I guess this is what we're in for.
Yeah, and then when they died, it was like, and they had her like, so she snaps off her fucking hair, like her scalp, you know, like it's like fucking tape. And then she goes out to like the dock where their other friend is, and she just goes on a killing spree. And she grabs the drone that we were talking about, like the blades, where it's like, oh, that could hurt your face, and like jams it into her face, falls in the water, and then kills the other dude. I know that this may be going everywhere, but anyways, fucking the lady pops out of the lake like floating, and then the text rises up behind the mountains. That was fucking cool.
A good title.
That was a really good title sequence. After seeing that, I was like, okay, all right.
They're doing Evil Dead.
Yeah, exactly. And then we open with the mom character who has 3 kids. I could not tell you any characters' names.
The mom character was named Ellie, I believe, and the girl that was Ash was her. Like the main character was.
Who was the Ash
Beth.
character?
Yeah, the Ash character
from the original. Like, yeah.
See, this movie remind me. I know you haven't seen the Evil Dead remake. Mm-hmm. From I don't know, early 2000s.
Yeah, maybe before the 10s.
Yeah,
possibly.
Well,
but the
Evil Dead remake.
Out. Yeah,
and it was very similar, where it was like it was the same setting as the original Evil Dead with the cabin and everything, but like there's one girl that's the Ash character, and she gets a chainsaw at the end and kills the monster with the chainsaw with blood shooting everywhere. Like, it was very similar in that sense.
Was it better, or do you think this one was better?
I think this one was better, to be honest. Mm-hmm. Just because it was something...
the switch up of, like, the locale.
The setting change was huge to me.
It helped the story a lot, because it didn't feel like it was treading his old ground. Because, like, the story is the Necronomicon.
It's Die Hard, but with Evil Dead.
Yeah, it's exactly.
Because they're trapped in their apartment. Mm-hmm. They're isolated to the single floor on their apartment complex with some zombies, some demons.
Some deadites.
So Evil Dead Die Hard.
Evil Dead Die Hard, exactly. The mom character is with her 3 kids. Her sister comes back. She's pregnant. And then an earthquake happens. And one of the kids, the son...
Yeah, discovers the
Necronomicon.
There was some line about how the building used to be a bank.
Yeah, it was like an underground safe was where all their evil Necronomicon shit was. You know how fucking unlucky it would be to like, you know, I mean, like that
live in the building that they hid the Necronomicon in.
Yeah, that would fucking suck.
And everybody in the building got fucked by that. Like, not even just the family.
To give more credit to the fucking them killing the kids. When they showed all the other characters, I was like, oh, okay, those are the characters they're gonna show graphically dying. But they died like that. And I was like, oh, okay. So, like...
Oh, like all the other characters on the floor?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, I thought they were, like, gonna leave the kids alone, like, maybe hurt one. But...
Oh, yeah. I also thought for a minute that the neighbors were just the cannon fodder so that they could have the... No, but then they took it all the way and killed the kids.
Oh, God. It's a joke, by the way, if you didn't catch on.
It is a joke.
Yeah, so the fucking kid finds the Necronomicon, and he tries to open it, and it's, like, bound by, like, teeth, kind of like the fucking book in Harry Potter.
I also had that thought with the book of Harry Potter.
Mm-hmm. And he cuts his hand, and it goes on the book, and, like, the teeth release, and it opens up.
Oh, and the book, like, absorbed his blood.
Yeah.
So, did you know that Lovecraft invented the idea of the Necronomicon?
I did not.
Like, the actual Necronomicon comes from Lovecraft.
Interesting.
And it's, like, it's super prevalent in the Cthulhu mythos.
Mm-hmm.
And when people are, like, messing with the Necronomicon, it starts to summon the crazy Cthulhu gods and stuff, and it's some of the... And it's just, like, the insight into the, like, the outer gods and everything, and that's how they, like, they know the lore of the Cthulhu mythos, basically, is from
because of the Necronomicon. That's pretty awesome.
And then they said...
I said this during the movie, but I think my answer to the question, what prop would you like in a movie? If you could have any prop, I think the Necronomicon would be up there.
That would be a cool one to have.
That'd be pretty cool, just to have the Necronomicon on display.
I want the one from Evil Dead 2 or Evil Dead 1 with, like, the face on it.
Oh, you're right. It did have the face on it.
Yeah, this one didn't have the face on it.
Yeah. I'd want that one too.
I don't know. The other one didn't have the teeth, did it? In the other Evil Dead movies?
It might have. I couldn't tell you.
I can't remember either. Like, there's
it
a chance that it did.
It definitely was bound with, like, human skin. I think that was the thing. As they say in this movie too.
But they did say that there were 3 Necronomicons on the vinyl. Yeah. So does that make...
I like how in classic RE fashion, like, they have the book, but, like, the reason it gets released is because of the recording.
RE fashion?
Or, god damn it, ED fashion.
Oh, yeah.
ED fashion. God, my minds have been tainted.
I know. No, I agree, because in the first Evil Dead, it's on the tape recording. Mm-hmm. Remember? So it's like analog analog media that lets it be summoned.
Yeah.
That was cool.
I like when he started doing it on the vinyl and started spinning it to, like, listen to the priest talk and, like, translate it. Mm-hmm. That, like, when it did start saying the shit, the voice got all creepy and he tried to lift it up, but, like, it wouldn't let him. Yeah. I was like, that's pretty cool.
I agree.
I think the cool thing with Evil Dead is like it's that horror, but it's that horror level where like you can watch it and be like, oh, okay, like
it's the slapstick.
Yeah. I don't know. It's really fucked up, but like the tone of it makes it feel funny in the weirdest way. You know, it's slapstick. Yeah, like you said.
I want to see. What I was thinking about was, I feel like in a lot of, this is jumping way to the end, but well, actually. With the, I guess it works with the drone thing, with the face getting chewed up, because I feel like in a lot of movies it would be like, if that happened, it would be off screen, and then they wouldn't even show you what the face even looked like. Mm-hmm. But the way that they do it is, I don't know, they just
like she hits it, and then her body goes like, whoo!
Yeah, like ragdolls, and I was thinking that I want to see the fight from Raiders of the Lost Ark on the tarmac as the plane's spinning, and then you know when the guy gets killed by the blades. I want to see that in an Evil Dead movie.
Like actually see it.
Yeah.
I mean, we got to see. All right, cutting to the very end, just because we're talking about it. We got to see the fucking Deadite amalgamation.
Yeah, when it became a Dark
Akira,
Souls.
The Akira.
I was thinking, you know how in Dark Souls 3, when you're like going through the jail and there's those like amalgamations of humans in the cages.
Or fucking Elden Ring, the guys in the swamps who like pop out with all their hands. Those guys are terrifying.
It became a FromSoft
it did become a FromSoft. But anyways, he got fucking thrown in the grinder, so.
That's the scene I was thinking of that like would have just been completely off screen, and it would have just like shown the blood like spatter out of the wood chipper once the monster got put in it.
Yeah.
But I thought the child actors were all really good.
They were really good. I was gonna say that too. Normally kids ruin movies because they're not good actors, and it's not their fault because you know they're like 8.
Yeah, exactly.
But these kids were pretty good. I agree.
Yeah, they were solid. They sold it. They were like, I didn't want the kids to die.
Yeah.
But then, you know, the movie had to show us some child death.
Yeah, of course.
But no, the kids were great. I honestly thought that the main character, it's hard not to compare to Bruce Campbell, but she just like wasn't charismatic enough for me.
I feel like I was able to suspend it from like that. I liked her character. Honestly, at the ends when they ran with like the camera like super close to the face, like they do with Bruce Campbell, I was like, okay, it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Just covered in blood too.
I won't say I didn't like her. Like she was serviceable for me. Yeah. But I thought she wasn't charismatic.
The other mom character though, who was like the first girl who gets turned, you see in like the trailers, climbing out of the bathtub and shit. She was really good.
She was great.
Yeah, she was fantastic. The minute she turned, I was like, all right.
Yeah.
I know why you got cast.
Yeah. I was thinking about that too. Imagine like being in the casting call for that, and you're like, all right, give us your best Deadite.
Yeah.
I'm sure that was like the first thing they were looking for. Like, they don't really care that much. Like, you were fine playing the mom, like, as the mom, but, like, you need to be Deadite.
Yeah, exactly. She killed it. Who's the first person she killed?
It was, so she gave the...
Oh, she
gave the older girl the tattoo.
She stabs the other girl in the hand with a piece of glass.
The main girl
and then
got stabbed in the hand.
Yeah, and then grabbed her tattoo gun and like on the older on the older daughter of the kids, like tattooed her face
in blood.
And then that cursed her, and then she became a Deadite and was eating glass.
Oh, when she was eating the glass. That was a bit unsettling.
Really? You know what's funny? I wasn't that bad for me.
Hell yeah.
Have you ever seen...
You're getting desensitized.
I'm getting desensitized. But there's this fucking awesome fight in JoJo. The character's name is Stand as Metallica.
Oh, nice.
And in the fight, he's fighting King Crimson. And that's fucking awesome. And Metallica's ability is he's able to, like, create, like blades from iron. So he grabs the blood, or the iron in your blood and, like, creates... like razor blades and scissors, and they have that with like the scissors coming out of his throat, and I was like, it's a cool power.
Whoa.
But yeah, I saw that. That's the minute I thought of it. He's such a cool character. Shout out to all the JoJo fans.
When the glass was like going down her throat, that was clearly CGI. That didn't like make me squirm or anything. It was when she was actually like biting into the glass. Yeah, it was like she had a wine glass and was just like eating around the rim.
Okay, I will say
that made me squirm.
Talking about an unreleased video, maybe not when this comes. I don't know. Probably not when this comes out. I have no idea when this is coming out. But the video you're working on, really good video on found footage. You talked about the quality of sound, and I was thinking about that during this movie. I just made a note, and it's good. Like it really does make the movie when,
especially in a horror movie.
Especially in a horror movie, yeah, you want to hear like the crunches and like the disturbing shit, you know.
And the
yeah, exactly.
People get stabbed. No, it's huge. And honestly, though, there was one audio thing that I did notice that I don't think I would have ever picked up on if I wasn't editing audio. But
what was it?
There was like a character that I think it was the oldest daughter, like yelled at somebody. Like, I don't know. There was some moment when she yelled, and I was like, oh, the audio peaked right there, and they had to bring it down. Like, it sounded like
it was a bit too much. It sounded like it was suppressed a little bit.
Yeah. That was like the best take that they had, but the audio just like wasn't that good for it.
Mm-hmm.
And like that's a huge nitpick that like only I would.
No, yeah, just like a small thing you saw. No, I feel you. First movie I've seen in theaters on record through all these fucking episodes we've done that I feel like I've really came out of it
honestly since like
satisfied.
Barbarian, to me.
Yeah, true.
Barbarian was the last time I like
walked out like, wow, that was pretty good.
Yeah, I agree.
That was a long time ago now too. That's been on streaming platforms for a minute.
Well, that's the other thing about this too, is this was just supposed to be an HBO Max exclusive release, and then they decided to make it a theatrical, which I think was a good idea.
I haven't looked at the numbers or anything, but I feel like everybody... Well, there's been buzz for this movie.
At the time of recording, we literally saw the first possible showing of it. Like
the day before, it's technically out, right? Doesn't it come out tomorrow?
Yeah. So yeah, we have no idea at the time of recording how this movie is doing financially, because
I guess we'll find out.
Possible showing.
I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, I hope it is doing well.
It was a packed theater, enough, you know.
Yeah, it was a packed theater, and people were liking it too.
People were having fun.
Yeah. People were laughing at the jokes and getting scared by the shit.
Mm-hmm.
People were liking it.
It was a good movie. It was a fun time.
So, since they said that there were 3 Necronomicons, does that mean that all of the Evil Dead movies take place in the same universe?
Then they have movie with all of the Bruce
Evil
Campbells.
Dead Endgame?
Yes, come on, Sam Raimi.
No, please, actually don't do that.
But if you want to bring back Bruce Campbell, that's okay.
Exactly. Do another Evil Dead with Bruce Campbell.
Yeah.
Honestly, if they have a good idea for another crazy setting where people get possessed, I'll go watch it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess they kind of set themselves up for like any sequel. It's just going to be like... I guess they could continue with this character if they wanted to.
I think you just keep putting the Necronomicon in like interesting settings. Like, what if someone got on a cruise ship with the Necronomicon?
Yeah, true.
Hey, don't take our idea.
Yeah, if the next one's on a cruise ship,
we're suing.
What would a cruise ship, airplane? That's when the series starts to lose ideas, is when it's on the airplane.
Oh yeah. Oh shit.
I can't think of any more besides
on a bus.
On a bus, yeah. We can't stop the car. The evil is driving it.
And then Evil Dead in space.
Yeah.
On a rocket ship.
Yeah, exactly. They bring it up there and they're like, what's this book underneath the moon rocks?
Oh, the Necronomicon.
Yeah, don't steal our ideas.
I hope they do the original idea for the ending of Army of Darkness.
It'd be cool to see, just seeing all the Deadites, as an army, it growing a bit uncontrollable.
Well, you know how the original ending for Army of Darkness was supposed to be like Ash comes back and everything's destroyed. Like he comes back.
I forgot about that.
And then the fourth movie just like never happened. Mm-hmm. And then apparently
that's right. I forgot about that.
And then apparently I haven't watched all of Ash's versus the Evil Dead, but apparently it like ends on a similar way and like will probably never get finished. Like,
yeah,
I hope this movie does well enough that we like get to
finally see like the apocalypse.
And then just maybe it'll be Bruce Campbell, and then maybe they team up with the Evil Dead.
Yeah, exactly. It's easy.
It's easy.
just not really, but just come on, do it, guys.
Just let us pitch you some Evil Dead movies.
Yeah, exactly. Doesn't the original or the one that released, it's like ends in the supermarket, right?
Yeah, so the on release ending for Army of Darkness is that he's just in the supermarket. Doesn't he get attacked by a deadite in the supermarket?
Yeah, and then he like catches the girl and like says some awesome one-liner and
then the movie ends. Maybe because
the one, okay, there was I think Bruce Campbell is a cool character because throughout all that he did a good job like going insane, but he still had some like cool funny one-liners. Mm-hmm. Only the deadites in this movie had funny like one-liners.
That's what I'm saying. The main character needed to be a bit more charismatic for me.
Yeah, I think they played it well, but I think you're right. They definitely could have been
for an Evil Dead movie. Yeah. Come on.
Yeah.
Like, I think that enhances the slapstick.
Mm-hmm. No, definitely. I mean, maybe they'll learn from it. People were laughing. It made me happy.
Were laughing, for sure. And they were laughing at shit the demon was saying, so. Mm-hmm. I like how in Evil Dead, once you, like, get possessed, like, you got no shot of coming back.
Yeah, me too. It's just fucked. Like, you're so fucked, it's not even funny. Yeah. Like, you are dead beyond belief.
Yeah.
Also, getting killed by a deadite just does not look fun.
No.
At all.
But, so, I was thinking that this movie could lead into the Apocalypse movie because if it's Evil Dead Rise, like, the deadites are getting into our world, and maybe the next one is just the Apocalypse now.
The next movie is Evil Dead Genesis.
Oh, God.
And then Evil Dead...
Dark Fate.
Dark Fate, yeah.
and then it will be Evil Dead Revelations.
Yeah. Yeah, we need a new Evil Dead Revelations.
But then it was like Evil Dead in the Skyrise.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotcha.
It's good. I mean, the title says it all. It's Evil Dead in Skyrise.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't think I really have anything else to say because we kind of once the mom gets possessed, it's just them trying to survive.
And it's just a slaughter fest.
And then it would be us like, oh, and then when she got stabbed in the face with the scissors, that was pretty crazy.
Yeah. All right, what was your favorite gory part in the movie?
Well, honestly, I think it was at the very beginning when the girl got scalped, and then when she was just like on the deck with no scalp and her hair was just completely gone. That was pretty crazy. That was pretty gruesome.
I'm trying to think what mine is. There was a lot of cool ones.
That was the one that made me go like, ugh.
The one where
she's like still conscious. That sucks.
Yeah.
That one affected me.
When the kid got stabbed in the bicep, that was pretty gruesome for me.
Yeah.
And that one I was like, eee.
And then we had the Shining reference with the elevator blood.
That was good.
That was cool. Like, what would it be like to be inside the Shining elevator?
And being like when it was filling up with blood, then the thing opens up and like all the hands come in. And I was like, that was pretty freaky. Like that was well done.
That was cool. I like that the Necronomicon also just had like pictures in it. Mm-hmm. And it was people that
We're just doing super fucked up. And actually, you know what was a good part was when they were combining into like that amalgamation of all of them. When they were just like punching into each other and like digging through each other, just laughing. That part. There was a lot of horror is weird, right? Because there's parts where you say it out loud and you're like, it's a fucked up scene, but like you're watching it and you're like, that is pretty cool. Like,
yeah. Exactly. 100% would recommend. Oh, and the Necronomicon like depicts the victims, because there's the one line that's like, don't you think the lady in the book looks like Mom?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Didn't they say there was no way to destroy the Necronomicon either? Don't they try and burn it in one of them in like the first one?
I don't. Oh.
Like, did they ever like throw it in the fireplace? I feel like that happens in it.
You know what I was thinking during the movie? I bet if you threw him out the window, you'd be safe for a while.
Like throw the Deadites out the window?
Yeah, like when they killed them and they're like temporarily disabled, I kept thinking, I was like, I'd throw them out the window. Like,
yeah.
I guess I'd probably doom the world, but...
Yeah, exactly.
But the world's already doomed, I guess, so I might as well just save myself a little time.
Yeah, exactly. Well, there's also like 3 other Necronomicons out there. Yeah, I don't know. I guess the Ash versus the Evil Dead show was kind of like them tying up loose ends with all like these extra people that had been infected.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, fucking Resident Evil.
Yeah, I'd end it saying the same thing as you. I'd 100% recommend it.
Mm-hmm. If you're a horror fan, if you're an Evil Dead fan.
And don't be scared if you're not super into gruesome stuff, because it is really gruesome, but it's not like you're watching Saw.
Yeah.
It's the tone. The tone of it makes it more bearable.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Everything is done in an over the top way that it makes it less graphic. Mm-hmm. Even though the way that we talked about it probably made it sound really graphic.
Yeah. Do you know what's next? Releasing?
Silent Hill.
Okay.
Yeah. Look out for that.
We hope you enjoyed. Thanks for listening.
Bye-bye.